Hi, this is Steve, continuing my series about the Emmys. This is part three, how one gets nominated or getting nominated, to put it simply. If you've been watching the series, or actually if you haven't, go back to the first one where I talk about becoming an Emmy voter. And then in the second one, I talk about how to get in the running to get considered for an Emmy. And I'm doing this both to educate all of those out there who are not Emmy voters, who are not in the industry or are in the industry but just don't know how all of this stuff works, primarily because so often in the industry, we think as artists that the people out there who get nominated or win these awards are somehow sainted or knighted on high, but really the Emmys, which are administered by the Television Academy, of which I'm a member, is really just an organization where you apply for membership, you pay some dues, you pay to be in the running, and you can find out a lot about that in the first two videos of this 5-video series. So that brings us to number three, part three, which is getting nominated. Now, this again is not so mysterious. As I mentioned in part two, there are peer groups, and I'm part of the writers peer group. And as such, I get an email from the Television Academy every once a year that says, hey, we are now looking at trying to figure out who the nominees for the Emmys will be. And basically, will you help us? Because you're a dues paying member of this peer group. So I go to the website, as I did just a week ago, and I log in and I get to see all of the shows and the shows and the episodes in a list that basically where the companies have put forth money to be considered for the Emmy. So it's a big, long list. And that's really what I'm here to say in this installment in part three. So I get to see, for example, these are direct quotes from the Emmy ballot, the potential Emmy ballot that I got to see, where we're choosing the nominees. So it's a ton of people. So for example, in these two categories, outstanding writing for a drama series, the instructions said, and I quote, vote for up to 7 entries in this category that you have seen and feel are worthy of a nomination. Candidates will be randomly sorted A to Z or Z to A. And it's this big, long list of all of these things that could be nominated for outstanding writing for a drama series, all of these shows. And in that list, here's what you need to know. There were 177 options, 177 TV shows. And so think about it on a human level. I'm, again, honored to be part of the Television Academy, but the chances of me having seen all 177 of those shows to actually determine which is the best, more worthy than another is absurd. I watch a lot of television, and so maybe I've seen, I don't know, let's say if I'm lucky, I've seen 20 or 30 of those shows, and let's say I really enjoy 10 of them, but I can only vote for 7, right? So it really becomes just like anything else, a series of choices that are, again, emotional, subjective. What shows do I like? What actors do I like? What sort of moved me? What did I think was innovative? For all sorts of reasons. So again, it's not scientific. It's not like on high. It's me looking at this list of 177 shows and saying, which ones do I like? Which ones did I enjoy? And making my choices very simply. And then all over, the country, the world, whoever the Television Academy voters are in my peer group, the writers category, are doing the same thing with all of those 177 options in order to choose, to narrow it down to 7 entries that will be nominated, right? So this is, it seems a little bit random. It's all subjective. For example, another example is for outstanding writing for a comedy series, again, the instructions, vote for up to 6 entries in this category that you have seen and feel are worthy of a nomination. candidates will be randomly sorted from A to Z or Z to A. There were 116 options. Again, the chances of me having seen all of those to actually compare in any sort of scientific way, it's completely subjective. I voted for the 6 that I voted for, again, out of the ones that I've seen, because I haven't seen all of them. And again, according to my personal taste, and then you sort of, it's like rolling the dice, you throw it into the mix. And eventually they come up with a list. So you can see how all of these shows are sort of up against what? Advertising, popularity, if the show got great ratings, if the show was for a company that had the money to advertise to beat the band on television, radio, billboards, and all of that, if those actors went on to the talk shows and you got to know them and then see the show, or it got buzz, or it won last year, so you watched it this year, all of those factors come into play. It's never really about the best because we can't really compare those things in art. But I think it is useful for us to know that these things happen in a very piecemeal, very specific and personal way based on the Emmy voter like me. So that's how you go about getting nominated, by the luck of the draw and people like me looking at lists like this of an incredible amount of dramatic material and making my choices, and then people pooling all of that information to come up with the top 7. So it really is a little bit random and kind of a strange sort of race. And it's not like being knighted, which I think is the important piece, which I think I've already said. So thanks for watching. This was part 3 of this Emmy series. There are 2 more parts. We're going to talk about being nominated, something I know a little bit about, actually, which I'll tell you about in the next video, and winning an Emmy. So we're going to talk about those 2 things in the next 2 parts. Thanks for watching. Take a look at all of the things on this YouTube channel. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel so that you get all this juicy writer's information. I post these videos every single week. And check out all the stuff I do at yourcreativelife.com, where you can find out about coaching, podcasts, all sorts of things, and my free newsletter, which comes out every month. Thanks for watching.